Hi friends, it's Laressa. Welcome back or welcome to the channel. If you are new here, this is a place on the internet where I help fellow real estate agents level up their branding, content creation, and marketing game with Canva. And in today's video, I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful single-page property website. Now, this is going to, 1, make you that real estate agent. 2, wow your sellers. 3, possibly help you win that next listing. And 4, provide a level and quality of service to your marketing campaigns, regardless if you are a new agent or not. Now, this is a little bit more of an intricate design compared to my other tutorials I have on my channel, which is why you can purchase this exact template on my Etsy shop. I will link it in the description box down below. I wanted to give you busy real estate agents an option so you can plug and play. So, and also for my agent partners who are watching my videos, you know who you are. Those of you who are partnered with me here at eXp Realty and the Wolfpack, do not worry. This exact template is available inside my Canva template vault, so be sure to check it out so you don't have to build it from scratch. So with that said, let's get into the tutorial and I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful property listing site. All right, friends, here we are at the Canva dashboard, and very simply we want to be toggled on the websites here. Now, as always, you can use the templates that Canva has, but you know me, I like to always start from scratch. Now, this is going to be a pretty intense tutorial, so bear with me. And of course, just to preface this, yes, you can create this property listing website even if you have the free version of Canva. There are just a few nuances when it comes to publishing, but I will get to that later in the tutorial. Now, for this specific landing page, I have 9 different pages, so I'm just going to go and add in on the bottom like that, and there we go. Now that we have our 9 pages, here is where we are going to start to build out the skeleton of this particular page here. Now, in this case, I have a folder on Canva of listing photos. Now, in order to create a folder on Canva, what you do have to do is go into the home page, go into your projects tab, go into the add new button up here, create a folder, and then you can access this folder inside the editing window. So in this case, let's go back to our design here. You want to go to the projects tab, and this is where you can search for that specific folder name that you have created. Now in this case, I already have it opened on the bottom here, and I'm just going to drag in this photo for now for the first page. Now the second page here is going to be a footer, or sorry, another header per se. This is where you can put in the address of the property or even some open house information if you will, if you want to. Now the second page here is going to stay white. I'm going to put this as green here. The third page here is going to be another header slash footer of information of the property. The 5th page here is going to actually be where we are going to be putting a little Google map embed here. And I just like to tighten this up just a little bit because we don't need that big of a page here. Now this page here, our 6th page, is going to be where we're going to put our photo gallery. I'm going to make this beige color. And then here I am just going to drag in a photo from Canva's stock photos here. Now this is where we're going to put our property tour in here. So I recommend if you do have a beautiful, say, a picture of your city, please put that in there. It looks great. And then finally, on this 8th page here is going to be our context page. So this is going to be where you're going to put in your agent information. I'm just going to tighten this up just a little bit. And then this final 9th page here is going to be a footer of where we are going to put our real estate logos to ensure that we are indeed compliant. Now this is what we are working with right now, and in this case, on this first page here, I'm going to do a little bit of something a little interesting. So in this first page here, we are going to be putting text, but as you can see, if you put text over top, it's going to be a little bit hard to read. So in this case, to combat that, I went to elements and I specifically looked for gradient. Now you want to go to see all, and I specifically use this purple one here, and this one, it is free. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag it roughly like that. And you can change the colors, which is great, and that's what we want to do. I'm going to change them both to black so that we have this kind of gradient contrast. And I'm going to drag it pretty down like that. So it looks like this. Now at this point, what I want you to do is to save this as an image, and I'm going to show you why we need to do this. So just trust me on this. We are going to go up to the share button, go to download we're on PNG already, and then just click the first page here and just hit download. And once you have that saved to your desktop, then drag it into your uploads or drag it into the folder that you have already on the side here. Now in this case, I've already done that. So I'm just going to duplicate my first page here and just drag and drop my photo. Now, why are we doing this? Okay, so let me show you. If we go to the preview tab up here, and right now, don't worry about this stuff up here. As we can see, the photo looks perfectly normal and fine on desktop on your website browser, right? Now, if we go to mobile, what's going to happen is that Canva is going to squish the image, right? Because it's going to make sure that it's optimized for mobile. And as you can see, there's first picture here. We have that gradient in there, but it's doing something funky and it's not going to look very nice. So in this case, because we saved that image with that gradient already, it is going to optimize it and stretch it that way so it fits properly. So I recommend you do that. It is a little bit of a tricky or nuanced thing to do, but trust me, please do that. And then once you're done, you just delete that page here. So now this is just a solid image. Now at this point, let's go ahead and put in our copy and our text in here. So I'm going to go to my text tab here, and we're going to use, you can put in whatever slogan you have. In this case, you know, I like to say yes to the address. And by all means, you can steal this, take it if you want. So I'm just going to make sure that this is aligned to the left side here, and I'm going to just slightly smoosh it up like that. And this text is a little bit too bold for my liking, so I'm going to go into play fair display, and then, is it bolded? There we go. Unbolded playlist display if you were looking for that text, okay? And then right under our slogan here, we're going to add in a bit of some body text here. I'm going to align it to the left again. And this is where you want to put just a quick description of the property. And I am just going to copy and paste from my other notepad over here on the side that you can't see. So I'm just going to put that in here. And then one more thing we're going to do is we are going to add a button, and I'm just going to move this slightly up here. And to make this button is really easy. All we got to go is to the Elements tab here. We are going to go click one more time to go back into the lines and shapes. And then let me just zoom in up in here for you real close. Now we are just going to size this appropriately. And I'm just going to line this like that. And I'm going to hollow out this shape, make it transparent. And then we're going to go into the border style. I'm going to make the weight maybe 3-ish. And I'm going to make the, click on the next to it, the border color. We're going to make it white. Now this dubs as a text box as well, so you can go ahead and just put in your text. So we're going to make this uppercase, take a virtual tour. And then we're just going to do that. To zoom out a little bit, let's make this line 2 instead. Now we're going to come back to this button here. We're going to link it later, but essentially this is going to be linked to the page where we are going to embed our home tour in. So it's going to be an embedded YouTube video. And then lastly, for this page here, we're just going to put in our logo here, compliance, you know, always going to make sure. Put EXP up there, and let's just make this centered. So that is your first page text done, okay? Now again, this header here, like I mentioned, you can put the address of the home, but if you are hosting an open house, by all means put like open house and then like the text of the address and then the time and the date. So that's something that you can put in there. So I'm just going to use another bodied text here, and it's going to be, I'm going to use the same font, but I'm going to change it to this color here. And again, I'm just going to paste that in here, and I'm going to bold this text here and make it big. Okay. So there we have the text here, and then now this page here is going to be our description page. Now for this particular page, I am just going to just drag this down just a little bit more, and we're going to put in our photos. Now here is the key nuance here. We're going to go into Elements. We are going to go down into the grids, okay? Not the frames, the grids here. Okay, see all, and you can choose as many photos as you'd like, but I think a solid 3 works really nicely, and it works best in this case. And now what I recommend is this type of, here, as you can see, this type of 1, 2, 3, this kind of grid here. And what we're going to do is just adjust it accordingly. And let's see here, now I'm going to keep that. I'm just going to bring this down here, just so we have some spacing. Okay, now at this point we're going to drag and drop in our photos. Now, as mentioned, you can go to your projects folder with your listing photos, but here is a quick nuance of Canva that I recently discovered, is that you can actually connect your Google Drive to Canva. So let me show you this real quick. Let me find where my apps section is. Apps. See, I'm already connected to my Google Drive, but let's say it wasn't there. Where is my apps? Right here, apps. Okay, click on the apps here, and you can search for Google Drive up here, but I can see that it's already here. So if you click on this, it's going to open up a window and ask you to log into your Google Drive, and it's really easy to set up. All you have to do is just sign in, and then once you do that, you'll have access to all of your photos. Here's some photos of me, but let's say if you name something, in this case I have named a folder on Google Drive, example listing photos, and I put my photos in here. Now I have access to my pictures, and I don't have to manually import them into Canva. Okay, so in this case, I'm just going to put in this photo here, and then drag this one here, and all I'm doing, again, very simple, I'm just dragging, drop. Now, notice when I'm doing this, because I'm dragging it from a folder inside Google Drive, you'll notice that they're going to be imported into your uploads here. So that's kind of the only thing about having your Google Drive connected to Canva. Now that we have our photos in here, we are going to put in some more information about the home. I'm just going to slightly drag this a little bit more, and then we are going to start creating some more subheadings. So in this case, I am just going to click and drag this down here, and then I'm going to just name this property description. Did I spell that right? I think so. And then I'm going to give this a bit of a, we're going to go into effects, and I'm going to give this a background border. I'm going to put the roundness all the way up, and then I'm going to change this color here so that it is matching the color scheme of this design here. Now at this point, we are just going to put underneath our another bit of some text here, a description, and then just do that. I'm going to align this to the left here, and as I have my copy here, and I'm just going to paste that bad boy in. And it is a lot of words, so I'm just going to, let's just boop, 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 boop. Make this a little bit smaller. Yes. Expand that. And let's bump up the size so it is a bit easier to read. And then that is pretty much it for your property description. You can make it as extensive as you want. We're just going to leave it at that. Now this page is going to be fun because this is where we're going to put some icons, so it makes it easier for people to just immediately see, okay, this is how many beds, baths, garage spaces, and things like that. So we're going to go into elements, and we are going to search for bed, and go ahead and use whatever you choose. I like these solid looking emoji kind of styles. We're gonna go look for bath, this one, and we're gonna go in and adjust the colors and the size. The next one I like is measuring tape. Let's see here. You can use whatever you'd like. There doesn't seem to be one that I really like. Okay, we're just going to use this one. And then we are going to go into, let's see, car. We're going to grab this one here, and then we're going to do calendar for the year built. Now, this is completely optional, so you can choose whatever you want to represent here in terms of your emojis. So you can do just the 5, you can do 10, you can do whatever you want to do. In this case, I'm just going to change that color, and I'm just going to go to the copy style and copy this style over, because I know you can change all of the colors for these things. All right. So now we are just going to size this appropriately. We want to make sure that they are relatively all the same size here. And then I'm just going to select all of them. So I just hit shift on my keyboard and then clicked all of them together. I'm going to hit positions and tidy it up. And we're just going to center them just like that. I think I am going to just space them out just a little bit more. So again, I'm going to select that all, tidy it up, and center it like that. Now let us go into text again, and we are just going to grab a text box. I'm going to make it that same beige color like that. And of course, now at this point, I'm just going to speed this section of the video up because it's pretty straightforward from here. Once that is done, we are going to actually lock this all down. So just click and drag with your mouse, and then we're just going to hit group, and let's just go and go to those three dots and just hit the lock button, okay? Now at this point, we are going to build out on page 5, like I mentioned, the Google map, but also some features and amenities. Now the way I did this was actually creating a chart and then just making the lines white so you can't see it. So let's go into elements. We're going to go down into the, oh, here we are, tables. So let me zoom in for you. And I'm going to actually delete most of the rows because we only need 3 columns. Delete that. And I'm just going to do it like this. And at this point, I have just a random list of amenities. But of course, this is what you would put in true factual information. But I'm just going to copy and paste this over. If you want the bullet points, all you have to do is just click the text here and just go up here to the list view. You can use numbers and just the bullet points like I did here. And I'm just going to paste that in here. And I'm going to do the exact same thing for this side here. Now, the key thing here is you want to try and keep each column in the same height. So you see I'm trying to make sure that this is all lined up accordingly. And then I'm just going to increase the size. I'm going to hold shift on my keyboard, click each column, and I'm going to increase the size like that. Now at this point, what I'm going to do is go into the border. And in this case, we can't make the border lines transparent, but what we can do is just make them white to match the background so it looks like that. Okay. Now let's see if I put lap pool. I'm just going to get rid of that. So now, let's keep it in there. Let's keep it in there. Now at this point, what I'm going to do is also highlight each page, and I'm going to align it to the left so it looks a little bit more cleaned up like that. And I'm just going to click and drag so I can move this. And what I'm going to do is copy this text box here, and I'm going to paste it down here. Let's move this, make this probably a little bit bigger. Now for this specific header, I'm going to actually invert the colors. So instead, I'm going to make this text green. And then I'm going to go into effects and I'm going to make the color beige. See? Inverted like that, okay? So there's a little bit of a contrast. It's just aesthetics. You don't have to do that. And then now, let me show you what you've all been waiting for, is how to embed a Google map site, interactive site, here. So we're going to go down to our tool tab here, to our trusty app section, and if we scroll down here, you will see Google Maps. And if you don't see it, just search up here. So I'm going to click on Google Maps. Now, of course, if you have, you're obviously going to have the address of the property, and hopefully it does show up on Google Maps. And go ahead and insert that in there, and then all you have to do is just pop and paste it. So in this case, I'm just gonna go with Calgary for now, and I'm just gonna click on it, and it's going to plop it in here. Now, the only thing about this is that it stays as a square. You can't extend it and crop it like that. You can only make it in that square. And again, if you double click, we can interact with this map beautifully, and it's just a really nice thing to add into there. Okay, awesome. Now we're moving on to photo gallery. Now again, I'm just going to take this specific subheading. I'm gonna go down here, paste it here, and we are just going to do photo gallery. All right, now here is the fun part. For this particular page, again, we're doing a photo gallery, and what I want was to have an interactive, slideshow, if you will. And the only way we can do that is to create another presentation in Canva and embed that presentation into this design here. So let's go back to our projects tab here. Sorry, back into the Canva dashboard. Let me go back to home, and we are just gonna need presentation. So I'm just gonna create a design, search presentation, it should be, you want to look for this presentation 16:9, click on that. I would suggest naming it the address of this property so you know this is the pictures. So in this case, we are just going to go to, again, I'm going to go down into my folder of pictures that I have here, and let's see here, we're going to drag this in here. So these are all just stock photos from Canva, but by all means use the actual listing photos of the property. So I'm just going to just click and drag all these photos in here. You can use as many as you want. In this case, let's see here, I think I'm going to put the back here, something like that. Do that. Okay, now that we have our photos dragged and dropped into there like that, you again just keep clicking this add page button if you just put as many photos as you want. Now what I want you to do is go in between, hover your mouse in between the slides here, and you'll see here this button here, add transition. We're going to click on that. Now again, I have the pro version of Canva, so I do have a little bit more options when it comes to the transitions, but what I really like is the dissolve one. It looks really seamless, and what we are going to do is if you have your mouse over, you can see the different type of transitions, but like I said, the dissolve one is really clean cut. So I'm just going to click on that, and then you can choose the duration of how long you want it to be, but I mean the standard 0.5 seconds is pretty sufficient. And then what I want you to do is go down here to the apply between all pages, so it's applied across all the pages. So once you present this and people click on it, so let's say I present this, when people click on it, it has that seamless transition between every photo. You see that? Yes, that's what we want. Now that we have our photo gallery finished, we're going to go up to the share button, and we need to go to the more down here, and we are looking for the embed. Click on that, and then we're just going to put embed here. Click on that, and then we need the smart embed. Copy that, go back into your landing page, and then at this point click on the page, and then we are just going to simply Command or Control V. Give Canva a second, and boom, you have your beautiful photo gallery. Dun dun, and just make sure that looks aligned. I'm just going to actually make this page a little bit bigger so we can make this take up a little bit more room, like that. Yes. And then in Canva, because we are in the back end window, to interact with this, you have to double click, and then you can go ahead and see how that looks. That looks incredible. It looks amazing. Yeah? Yes. And then this next page, that's done. We are on the 7th page here, which again, I mentioned is where we're going to put in our property tour, because duh. Yes, if you are not using video marketing and YouTube for your real estate, what is you doing? I'm just joking. But if you want to learn more about YouTube strategies and how to attract clients at scale, check out the links in the description box down below, because that is what we do here at the Wolfpack here at eXp Realty. Now, in this case, for the header, I'm going to grab this one here. I'm going to copy this, Command or Control C, go down to this page, click on that, Command or Control V. Okay, we're about efficiency here, efficiency. Then I'm going to center this bad boy up. And again, we're going to name this and title this so people know what this is. Virtual. Spell it right, virtual tour. Or property tour, or whatever you want to do. Now in this case, you do want to make sure that the video is already on YouTube, okay? Because we need to go in and take the link of that YouTube video. So let me just open up my YouTube on this other tab here. And let me grab my channel here. Okay, so here is my real estate YouTube channel. I don't have a property tour right now, so I'm just going to take a random video just to show you exactly how you would embed your YouTube video onto your site there. So by all means, just go and grab your video. We're going to go to this 3 dots here, and I'm just going to go to share, and I want the URL. Go back into your landing page here. Very simply, all we have to do is just Command or Control V. If that doesn't work for you, go to the app section, look for YouTube, paste in your link, and then you'll find your video there, okay? So at this point, I am just going to size this up like that. And again, because we are in the editing window on Canva on the back end, to interact with anything, you have to double click to play. Okay, boom. That is your 7th page done. Now, here's the home stretch. We're almost there. We're almost there. We are going to be making our contact page here. Yay, so exciting. Because they need to know who is this listing agent that is making this incredible listing page for this property, because I want you to be my agent if you do this, okay? So here we are just going to build out our contacts page, and I'm going to keep this pretty simple, and I'm going to go into my brand hub, and I'm going to grab a photo of myself. So here is what the brand hub looks like. It's a little bit different now because Canva made updates. So here I have a profile picture of me. If you want to learn how to create this really cool pop-out image of you, I do have a tutorial on it. I will link it in the cards above and in the description box down below, so you can recreate this because I look super clean. It looks super cool. So now I'm just going to add in my name and then some text underneath. Now for my name, I'm using the Brittany font, and then I'm going to go into effects and use the lift effect like that. Then for the body text, I'm using Open Sans. I'm making it white, then going into effects and also giving that a lift as well. And now we're going to build out some interactive buttons here on the side so people can actually click on them. So we're going to go into elements here, and we are going to go into, I love this, you know, the square with the rounded edges. If you know me, you watch my tutorials, I use this religiously. Then, you know, I actually am going to go into the borders, and I'm going to make round all the way. See that? It's not in the, okay. We're going to change the colors. In this case, I'm going to make this one transparent, and I'm going to give the borderline, we're going to stick with the 3-ish. Yeah, no, I always do this. I want to change the border color to that. Okay. So you can choose as many buttons as you would like. In this case, I am just going to make 3. And then like that. And then for this design here, I'm just going to make it a little bit different. Instead, I'm just going to put the social media icons directly underneath. So if whatever platform you're on, put it there. In this case, as you know, yes, YouTube. And then Instagram. Let me grab that. And then need Facebook. And then I'm going to size this properly. I'm going to put YouTube here. And then I'm going to just make this smaller, just like that. Just like that. And of course, with these icons, you can change the color. And I'm just going to use this copy tool because I'm efficiency. I'm not lazy, I'm just efficient. Okay. Like that, maybe a little bit smaller. Okie dokie. Now that we have all of our buttons made, this is what we are going to do. Now in this case, I am going to go into text again. We're going to grab another text box. Now I know you can use these shapes as text boxes as well, but I refrain from doing that when it comes to creating clickable buttons because I want to make sure that I hyperlink both the text and the shape. So if somebody is on mobile or on desktop, even if they click wherever, it's going to bring them to the site that I want them to. Okay, now we must hyperlink all this stuff. So let me do this very quickly here. Let me pull up all of my links right here. Ta-da! We are gonna grab Instagram here, so I'm gonna copy link address, go back into, nope, here. That was YouTube, yeah? Did I grab YouTube? Oh, no, I think I grabbed Instagram. Instagram, paste link in here, go back, and then here's my YouTube one, so I'm just gonna copy the link here. And then I didn't explain this. You want to click on the icon, click the 3 buttons, click the link, paste it in like that, and then go back into here and grab this Facebook one. What am I doing? Copy link address. Facebook. And then for this is new. We can actually hyperlink our actual phone numbers. Yeah. So we are going to, first I'm going to hyperlink the text here. So click on the text, 3 buttons, link, and then you want to make sure you put in the dashes as well. And then, so it looks like that. And then it says link added, and it gives it that underline, and I don't like the underline, so I just remove it. But to let me show you what it looks like when you link it, you'll see here it has the tel and then the colon and then your number. So I'm just going to copy this, and then I'm going to click on the shape here and paste that into the link as well. So they're both hyperlinked, and then I'm going to hold the shift key on my keyboard and click both these shapes, and then I'm going to group them together. Did I click on it? Yeah, now we can group them together. And again, for a website here, you can use whatever site you have. If you have a real estate site, KV Core. Let me grab this one. This is my site. Load. Yeah. We're gonna grab this, go back into here, and we are going to hyperlink that. And then again, you can keep that underlined. I don't like that. I'm just gonna remove that. And then again, we're going to link here, paste that in here, and then we're gonna group these 2 together. And then for email, we are going to very simply just put in our actual email address here, exprealty.com. Oh, I did that wrong. Make sure you spell it right, or else you're not going to get emails. Yes, LARESSANGOE@exprealty.com. Yes, that's correct. Hit enter. I don't like the underline. And then as you can see, when we had our email, it already automates to mail to your email address. So let me just go ahead and copy this, click on the shape, and let's go to the link, paste that in here, and then click and drag so we can group these together. And now you pretty much have your context page built out. You can do it however you want. This is how I like to do it. And then finally, this bottom footer is where we're going to put in our real estate logo. EXP is website. Okay. Like that. And there, my friends, is pretty much your entire landing page built out. Now remember, we have to link this page, link this button to the home tour. And the home tour is on page number 7, as we can see down here. So I'm going to go and make sure we click on this. We're going to go to the 3 buttons, and we're going to go to link, and we are going to paste it to page 7. Okay, now again, you have that underline. I don't like the underline, so I'm going to remove the underline. And then now we're going to build out the navigation. Okay, navigation quotations. So now if you go down here to the grid view, it's going to show us each page. We have 9 pages, right? So now we just have to click on this this thing. This is a pencil. Click on that, and now we can just go ahead and name each page. So home, address, description. What did I name this one? I think I named it just amenities or features. And this one was amenities. You can do amenities or Google Map. We're gonna go Google Map. This one, and then this one is photo gallery. This one is gonna be our home tour. This is gonna be contact, and you can leave this blank or just put EXP. Okay, now that we have each page named, we're gonna go back to our close the grid view. Now let's preview this because we want to make sure we are making sure the design is optimal for desktop and specifically mobile. So let's go up to the preview button. Give it a second. Let's go into desktop here, and we want with navigation toggled on here. Give it a second because it's a pretty big hefty landing page. As you can see, here is our navigation tabs up at the top. Now you can go ahead, click through to make sure every single thing is properly connected, right? Now again, I named this last page here. You don't have to. So if I were to close out of this and go back into grid view and just remove EXP, it will disappear. Preview. Give it a second. And then as you can see, EXP is gone. Just the contact page at the very end here. Now if we go back up here, we want to make sure that this is properly linked to our virtual tour. So make sure you actually have a property tour of the home because that would be epic. And again, we can click on these to quality check. So if I click on this, it's going to ask if I want to call. If I go to here, website, it's going to open up my website. Email, if I click on this, it's going to boot me out into Apple Mail. And then click on this, we have our YouTube channel, our real estate one. Click on this, should be linked to Instagram. Indeed it is, and Facebook. Okay, so let me just exit out of these because we don't need that. Again, you're there. If we click on this video, it works. And as you can see here, because this is a presentation in Canva that we embedded, if you hover over the bottom, you can see how many pages there are. Then if we, on desktop, they can click here, or they can click on the actual page here. But just know it's a little bit different when you're on a mobile, and I'll show you that. And again, with the Google Maps here, we can click and drag, and then we have all of our information here beautifully. Now let's see what happens if we crop this into the mobile version. Now there may be some things we have to switch around just to make sure it properly aligns. So as you can see, the photos, the grid, because it was 1, 2, 3, it is collapsed 1, 2, 3 in the vertical stance here. Now that looks good. That looks good. That looks good. That looks good. And again, photo gallery, as I mentioned, when you are on mobile, I do believe that you can't click it here. You can only navigate with these toggles on the bottom there, just so you know. And then again, here is our video, and then our contact page is stacked like this, which is what we want. It is perfect. It is beautiful. Now, if you ever have any problems with the mobile version, what we can do, so in this case right now it is stacking the information like that, and let's say we want it to be just one long sentence, what we can do is just play around with the positioning, extend this a little bit, and then what we want to do is just hit this here and look for those 3 dots, and we want to lock this down, lock that, okay? And so when we do that, what's going to happen if we are on mobile again, it's going to make sure that it's just one string of text versus it being collapsed into 2 sentences, as you can see here, just like that. Okay, and yes, and if you decide to have more than one, like more rows of icons, if you will, all I would recommend, again, because we've already locked this down, That's why it is stayed in that position. So if you want certain things to be in certain areas in terms of the mobile, just lock things down so nothing moves. So in this case, I would lock this down too, just for ease. And most times I lock everything down so it is how I want it to be displayed, both on mobile and on desktop. All right, my friends. Now, finally, what we have to do is to publish this site here. So I'm going to move myself over here because when I pull this down, we're going to hit the publish website. All right, now, as mentioned, you can create your property listing site with the free version of Canva and with Canva Pro. Now, I recommend just using the free domain that Canva provides you. So in this case, I would just go your first name dot last name, and it's going to be .canva.site. Now, you can purchase a domain through Canva or use your existing one if you have one, but honestly speaking, I have not used either of these options. I've just stuck with the free domain. So in this case, I'm going to go with that. Now, with the free version of Canva, you can have a free domain and then create 5 different websites to your domain, okay? But with Canva Pro, you can have your domain name, Canva domain name, and then have as many different landing pages and sites that you can, that you want to make, and attach it to this domain name, okay? So that's the only nuances between the Pro and the free version of Canva. So Canva free, only 5 websites you can create with your domain, okay? Now we want to have with navigation on, and we are going to go to, make sure we're clicked on free domain here, and continue at the bottom. Now here I'm going to click on the pencil button here. I'm going to change the slug out, so that is the stuff after, your website, free domain name. And I'm just going to put in, I recommend you put in the actual address of the property. So let's just, and it might be really long, so just do like maybe the first, just the street name or so, like that. And then at this point, you can also change here what the tab preview looks like. So again, we're basically changing out what this looks like with the icon and the name. So I'm going to click on this here. You can choose your logo here. It's basically pulling the logos from your brand kit that you are in currently. And again, let's just go with this one. Hit done, and then you can of course change the name here. So I would just put the name of the address, okay? And then you can put whatever you want in here, but it doesn't really matter. And then I keep both of these turned off, so I don't touch any of this stuff here, and I just hit publish, okay? Very simple, very easy, very basic. And then just give Canva a few moments to lock that in. Hit publish. Gonna move myself back. And then let's view this website. This is what it looks like. Here is your navigation at the top. Take a virtual tour. Boom. This is what your landing page, your property listing landing page looks like. And I mean, it looks good, huh? It looks good. And then all you have to do is just take this this URL link, and what we can do now, if you are creating physical material, you can go ahead and take this URL and you can actually create a QR code with this. So let me show you what that is. So that's a little bonus tip. If you stay till the very end, hashtag #crew, this is for you. Take this URL, copy it. Let's go back into a Canva, or you can go into, not the presentation, but let's just go into the homepage of Canva again, and let's go into social media, and let's just go with the Instagram square post, because I'm going to show you how to create a QR code. So go into the app section here. We're going to look for a QR code. I just click on this first one here, and then just paste in your landing page, and then you can customize, the color in the background, but I don't really play around with that too much, honestly. And then I just generate the QR code. Now, when people scan this, it's going to bring you to your listing landing page. So let me go ahead and pull this up on my phone here so you can see that I am not playing around. Okay, so let me scan this. And let's look at this from mobile. Okay, so I've scanned it here. Here's what it looks like. It looks good, huh? And then I'm going to just scroll through, make sure that everything looks good. It looks aligned. And again, like I mentioned with the photo gallery, you can't tap the side. You have to navigate with the toggles at the bottom there. You can play the the property tour, your property tour, your video. And again, let me show you here at the bottom here where you have your phone number. If you actually click on your phone number, it will ask you if you want to call that number, which is amazing. And let me go back into my site here. Then as I would mention, just go through here and make sure you quality check everything. If you want to toggle the navigation side, you have the hamburger button on the right hand side, and that's where you can see the navigation and go to wherever you want to. And that is it for today's tutorial. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your real estate friends out there, and if you're still here, comment down below #NCruise so I know you're a real one and you stay to the very end of this video. And of course, this template is available for purchase on my Etsy shop, link in the description box down below. And if you want to learn more about Canva websites and how to use them for real estate, then check out these videos right over here. And if you're ready, 3, 2, 1, click.